What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about 12 of the most beautiful towns in the UK. So, like most Americans, I am familiar with a few of the biggest, most popular British cities, but I really don't know anything about the towns in the UK. So today, I'm very interested in seeing what some of the most beautiful towns in the UK are like for the very first time. So, with that being said, let's take a look.
We present in this video the 12 most beautiful towns in the UK to visit.
Okay.
12. Bangor, Northern Ireland.
Oh.
We will take you first to Northern Ireland,
Okay.
the region of the UK least often regarded. And
Yeah, that's true, honestly. I think of all the places in the UK, like Americans really know very, very, very little about Northern Ireland. Probably Wales as well, so I hope there's some Welsh places in here as well.
we're looking at the town of Bangor. We have to quickly tell you that this is the only town in Northern Ireland on this list, and it's in County Down. This
Oh,
is a
wow.
scenic seaside town that kind of puts the rest of Northern Ireland to shame with its extraordinary beauty, as we discovered.
Oh,
The
wow.
town, whose name means horned curve, likely taken after the shape of Bangor Bay, had become a famous seaside resort.
Wow, this is really cool, honestly. The pictures are going by kind of quickly, but they showed one that really emphasized like the coast that I thought was really cool. This one right here. Look at this. Oh my God. This is in Northern Ireland? This is amazing, especially at nighttime, I think. That makes it even more beautiful. Okay, and this as well really caught my attention. Some of the architecture here and the color of the buildings and a clock tower. This is already like a lot of stuff that you don't really see much in the United States.
During the 19th century for Victorian holidaymakers. Adding to the beauty of this town are many of its ancient architecture.
Yeah.
11. Painswick, England.
Painswick. I have a feeling I've never heard of any of these places so far. I feel like it's so funny because I'm sure people in the UK, you have to be familiar with at least the names of some of these towns. But I have a feeling this is going to be places I've literally never even heard the name spoken before. Painswick.
It's now the turn of Painswick, a town in the Stroud district in Gloucestershire.
Oh, wow.
We reckon with Painswick as the loveliest village in the Cotswolds. But prettiness doesn't end there.
The Cotswolds. I've heard that term before. The Cotswolds. What is that?
It's rated high among the prettiest towns in the UK.
Ah,
This town established itself during the historic wool trade boom. It's now known as the Queen of the Cotswolds because
the Queen of the Cotswolds. Look at this. Man, some of these buildings look quite old in a different kind of way. I mean, these look like this made out of wood and like old bricks, where the bricks aren't even all the same size. That's how you know it's really old, right? That's really cool. And is this just a post office? Like all these old historical buildings are not like historical sites. Well, they are, but they're not like museums. They're still in use. Like this this is just like a post office that still operates. That's really cool.
of its heritage architecture and unique landscapes. The town, with its stone buildings and magical topiary trees,
Yeah.
is packed with beauty as one of the most picturesque towns in the UK.
What is that? This is what I'm talking about. With some of the places in the UK, like I don't know if this ever gets old to people in the UK, because you seem to have these castles and cathedrals and just beautiful, like, I don't know, basically works of art in the form of buildings sprinkled throughout the UK, and it just amazes me every single time.
Visitors admire the streets of Cotswold stone houses and cottages. The stunning Rococo garden opening in warmer months makes that season memorable.
Very cool.
10. Sandwich, England.
What? Sandwich? Sandwich, England. Okay. Was it named after the sandwich, or was the sandwich named after this town? I didn't know that there was a Sandwich, England. I like what I see so far. The Funky Granny. Any town with a store called the Funky Granny has got to be pretty good, I think.
The next is Sandwich, a historic town in the Dover district of Kent in southeast England. The civil parish lies on the River
Wow.
Stour.
Like, it just amazes me. The architecture is so different. This is a town? The buildings are all so close together, and this design where the upper part of the building is like hanging over the street, basically. That's insane. Like, what's the thought behind that? You don't see that in America. That's very unique.
Its many original medieval buildings and several public houses listed in the Old Town Walls, almshouses and the White Mill are among the beautifiers of this town.
Oh, wow.
The attractive town, which was a major port, is now more than 3 kilometres from the sea, no thanks to the disappearance of the Wonsum Channel. Still, its historic centre has been preserved.
These look like these towns are so unique, and we're only getting to look at a couple photos here, but they look extremely peaceful as well. That's like the vibe that I get. It's really nice, honestly.
Those visiting this rustic and romantic town, described as the completest of the medieval towns in Britain, are bound to see a lot of historic sites and attractions.
Yeah, look at like this. Like, these are historical buildings, historical sites, but it seems to me that these buildings are still in operation, like still used. Is that just because there's so many old historical buildings in the UK? It's just like, you know what? We can't just make all of these places into like protected historical buildings where no one can use them because there's so many. I think it's really cool that they actually look like they're still in operation. You actually use these buildings. If I'm correct here, it looks that way. That's really cool.
9. Cirencester, England.
Oh my gosh. This is a town in the UK? Cirencester? Oh my gosh. This looks huge. Look at that thing in the background. How can every town just have like its own scaled down version of Big Ben, basically? Or it's like, it boggles my mind a bit.
Cirencester, a market town in Gloucestershire, is known as the capital of the Cotswolds.
Wow.
This town is also steeped in fascinating history. Lying on the River Churn, it is on the tributary of the River Thames.
Man, the design of UK towns really fascinates me. With all these old buildings that are just compacted right close together next to each other. And it really makes for a striking street view. Like, it'd be very cool to walk down these streets. There's so much stuff, so much old stuff, too.
As the largest town in the Cotswolds, it has to its west Cirencester Park.
Ah.
It is the seat of Earl Bathurst and also the site of one of the country's finest landscape gardens, laid out by Alan Bathurst, first Earl Bathurst after 1714.
Yes, I'll say it again. These towns have such a different feel to them than American towns. They just look and feel so different. To me, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like stepping back in time a little bit. I don't want to say that the UK is like outdated, but it certainly seems like you have kept a lot of the original or old historical buildings and still using them like to this day, and that's really cool. The streets even look a bit different. It's really quite remarkable.
There are also Abbey House, Roman amphitheatre, and other ancient yet beautiful locations.
Wow. What?
8. Portree, Scotland.
What? Okay. This is in Scotland? This looks like out of a movie or something, like out of a fantasy novel. Look at the colors of this town too, and it's built on like a little hillside. over a lake? This, like, literally, this looks like from a movie, like, not real. You certainly don't find anything like this in the United States. This might be the most unique town so far.
This is the first and only Scottish town on this list of the 12 most beautiful towns in the UK.
Wow.
Nestled in rolling hills, surrounded by waterfalls, Portree has many quaint, colourful cottages.
Is this the whole town? It's not that big. Oh, look at that mountain in the background, too. How amazing would it be to live here? Or in any of these towns, really? Please leave a comment if you live in any of the towns on this list. That'd be really cool. Because I can't like wrap my mind around the fact that people live in these places and it's just normal to you. To me, this is like all some faraway mythical land, you know? That's as silly as that sounds.
There are plenty of places to wine and dine in this largest town on the Isle of Skye, which doubles as its capital in the Inner Hebrides of Scotland.
Oh, wow.
The harbour is open for business in this Scottish gem. If you're planning a visit,
Wow.
This is an area to have a bigger exploration of Skye.
So cool. So cool. What the heck? This looks like Scandinavia or something, right? With the water and the mountains, and Scotland is beautiful.
Among the places tourists consider to count this island worthy of their visits are the Old Man of Storr, the impressive beauty of Quarang, and Kilt Rock. 7. Conwy, Wales.
Oh, here we go. We are getting Wales. I think we got Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, and now Wales. All 4. So that's really cool. I was hoping for that. Representation here. This is a town? Wait, I just processed what I'm looking at. This is a town? Is this what towns look like in Wales? There's nothing here. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, breathtaking, but it's empty space. What?
Wales doesn't fail to have representatives on this list of beautiful towns.
Here we go.
And the first of such ones is Conwy, a small town having of a grand castle.
Oh, wow.
The Conwy Castle is one of the Welsh grandest castles.
How it is, man. It's just so different. It's just so different. How is it that every town in the UK has like its own town, tower or castle or cathedral? Like every town has one of those things, it seems.
Visiting this town will expose you to a little or big size of history packed inside Conwy Castle.
Wow.
There is also Plas Mawr. One thing not to miss during your visit to the United Kingdom that takes you to this Conwy is Ameli's restaurant, where you can gorge on the best brunch.
Okay. Nice.
6. Tenby, Wales.
Oh, wow. These Welsh towns are quite something as well. There's been quite a few towns in different countries that have this multicolor thing going on. Like, you don't see blue buildings in America. I quite like this.
The next Welsh town here is a coastal haunt in Pembrokeshire, namely Tenby. A remarkable publication in the UK, FBM Holidays, once named this town the second prettiest town in the country.
Oh, wow.
Tenby is full of colourful houses and sandy beaches. If you were of the opinion that this is the prettiest town in Wales, we would agree with you.
Oh my gosh, these are so cool. Man, to walk the streets of some of these places would feel otherworldly, like strange, I think, because it just has such a different look to American towns, I swear.
Tenby's harbour at the heart of the town is where...
Look at this! Oh my god. Look at this. Just look at it for a second. It's making me angry. It's so beautiful. That is so cool. What the heck? Never seen anything like this.
Where you can see an avalanche of pastel-coloured houses.
Yeah.
Tourists can hire boats to do a spot of fishing. In its glorious beaches, such as Castle Beach, North Beach and South Beach.
Cool.
5. Salcombe, England.
Okay.
Let's get back to England.
So we're back in England, where apparently you find some of these houses or buildings with this weird roof. I think you called it a thatched roof. made out of straw or something. There were some comments trying to explain this, what these strange roofs were. I was trying to understand. Never seen these kind of roofs before. Sounds really interesting. Apparently, it's like its own skill to even build these roofs.
Now in beautiful Salcombe, a popular coastal resort sitting on the banks of the Kingsbridge estuary. Actually, one of the town's main attractions is its natural beauty as a town within an area of outstanding natural beauty.
Wow.
You can talk about its outstanding coastal views and rolling countryside.
Oh, look at this, a classic inn. The Fortescue Inn. With a coat of arms. It's the little details like this that also make this so cool.
It is home to numerous National Trust sites and some of the most attractive holiday homes in the UK. From the glorious treetop balcony at many of the land...
Yeah, for some reason this looked like a holiday town. For some reason, I mean, you got people like in canoes paddling around, like doing touristy holiday things. Maybe that's what this town is kind of known for.
Landmark homes in this town, you can see the stunning estuary views at Woodspring.
Wow.
You can also stroll down the famous Fore Street to see a different side of this hidden seaside town.
I didn't realize there were so many popular beaches around the UK as well. When I think about it, like the UK is just like, it's an island. So you would expect beaches. I don't know why, but Americans, we don't really associate beaches with the UK. I don't know why. Because it's literally an island. Okay.
4. Shaftesbury, England.
What? Exactly what I'm talking about. Very first picture. Shaftesbury. Never heard of it. Never heard of any of these places, to be completely honest. Still, never heard of one of these places. It's got its own historical castle. It seems to be mandatory with UK towns.
We're next in Shaftesbury, a small town and civil parish in Dorset, England. This town is the only significant hilltop settlement you would find in Dorset.
Cool.
Its picturesque landscapes, unique traditional properties and historical villages won't disappoint you when you visit and see the history behind them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's really the presence of these old buildings that really shocks me. Although I'm starting to see that that's pretty normal in the UK. And also there's a lot of like open nature. Like whenever they show the background or a big aerial shot of the town, the background is like a mountain or beautiful open plains, or that's really cool too.
It also boasts a wide selection of top-rated cafes, pubs and restaurants,
Huh.
all on a high street filled with independent shops.
Nice.
Also a market town, it is about 30 kilometres from Salisbury.
Wow.
Its Gold Hill Museum, Castle Hill and the Salt Cellar.
Wow, look at this. Look at this street. Yeah, like, and it's got like the background with the trees and the grass, and you got grass growing up the buildings, and the buildings built on a decline, and this picture has it all. This is classic, I guess, English town right here in a photo. This is good.
Where you'll be served tantalising food, including meaty pies and homemade soups, are worth considering for a visit to the UK.
Wow.
3. Knaresborough, England.
Okay.
Knaresborough, a market and spa town, also features on this list. It is a civil parish in the borough of Harrogate, not too far.
And it seems like I've noticed now a couple of times, a few of the towns have a railroad that comes through. How cool is that? And these are functional railroads, right? I mean, I say that because, again, not common in America. That is so cool that there seems to be a decent rail system in the UK that actually goes to the towns. At least from what I've seen, a couple of these towns, you can ride a train to other places. You can't do that in the United States. There's no trains going. I mean, the United States is a much, much, much bigger, but the fact that we still don't have some kind of like widespread train network really baffles me. So it's really cool to see it here.
from Harrogate in North Yorkshire, England. This exquisite town on the River Nid is 4.8 kilometres east of Harrogate. This small town has a nicely planned market that holds every Wednesday.
Huh.
On market days, the town, which is already crammed with lots of little stalls and vendors selling
Whoa! What is this? What? How can you? How can you just show this picture and gloss over it? What is this? What is going on? This is from Lord of the Rings or something. Is this where the elves live? Look at this bridge over this river. This is just in Knaresborough, England. Like one of the most beautiful bridges I've ever seen. What the heck? All of our bridges in America are just cold, old steel. Modern bridges. Not very pleasant looking. Look at this.
tastiest local treats will be buzzing with great and impressive transactions.
Wow.
Knaresborough Castle is one of the places that deserve your visit for its uniqueness in the north of England.
Look at this. Unbelievable.
2. Aberaeron, Wales.
Aberaeron, going back to Wales. We're at the final two now. That last one was insane, so I'm curious what the top two are going to be here.
Towards the wind down of this, we are now in Aberaeron, a little town sitting on the ancient West Wales coastline.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it did not disappoint. It's again, there's been a couple of these beautiful seaside towns. So cool, so peaceful. Stuff that I read about in stories, really. Never seen. And, I don't know. Again, just the idea that these are just all over the UK like this is really cool, honestly. That's all I can say.
This is yet another Welsh town on this list. Ceredigion County Council offices are actually in this town. The meaning of the Welsh name of this town is Mouth of the Aeron, and Aeron is believed to have been a Welsh god of war.
Okay.
This historic fishing town has become a little but great spot and is home to all the colourful seaside houses.
Yeah.
Visitors can gorge on good old fish and chips. They can also head to the award-winning Harbour Master, where some of the tastiest locally sourced food in the UK can be found.
Wow.
Your time in Aberaeron will be greatly rewarding.
I love the colorful buildings. That's so unique. But it seems to be like a recurring theme. Like it has been in several of the towns on this list. The colorful, pastel-colored buildings.
1. Keswick, England.
Okay, here we have number 1. This has been a great list so far. Holy cow. Keswick, England.
Only a few people will be surprised that we give the award of the most beautiful town in the UK to visit at this moment to Keswick. This is
This is also one of the towns that looks pretty busy, which leads me to believe that this is a pretty popular town, probably because it is so beautiful. So it kind of makes sense that this is number 1.
a mere market town and a civil parish in the Allerdale borough of Cumbria. The town, just north of Derwentwater, is 6 kilometres from Bassenthwaite Lake. With over 400,000 Instagram hashtags, over 3 million Google images, 20 National Trust sites, and numerous designations, this town can't be beaten by any other of its status.
We're measuring the value of the towns in the UK by their amount of Instagram hashtags. Well, I guess you got to go with something.
As a part of the Lake District National Park, the town has become a site of special scientific interest and a special area of conservation.
Okay.
Near the Derwent Water and overlooked by Skiddaw, the town affords you the opportunity to see one of the highest mountains in England.
Wow.
This list is based on the preference.
Wow. And there we have it. That was great. That was so much fun. So cool to see what a big difference there is between at least this group of beautiful towns in the UK compared to American towns. One of the big things I'm starting to notice is American towns just feel more modern, more boring, honestly. The UK towns here were full of life, peaceful, beautiful, historical, colorful. Like, I don't know. Take your pick. Really, like, pretty cool to see. This video is by Learning Canteen, and I gotta give it a like, because I really did like this. This was pretty eye-opening to me. Really cool to compare UK towns to American towns, and these are obviously 12 of the most beautiful UK towns, and it didn't disappoint me, that's for sure. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these beautiful towns in the UK, or if there's any other towns you thought deserve to be on this list that aren't. That'd be really cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to the UK and UK culture, and seeing things and learning things about the UK for the first time, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.